Welcome back to the Coffeehouse. My name is Vic Bonacci and I will be your barista today. You're in for a treat. We're going back to one of our favorite fun pastimes here, and that's to spin the wheel. So that's exactly what we're going to do here at the Coffeehouse today. I'm going to be answering questions or prompts from this deck of cards. This is one that I called my Agile Coffee Conversation Starters Volume 1. This is the blue deck. And so here's what it's going to look like. I am going to put this here and spin it so that we could get a card from right on top. This is the first time we've got all of our cards, so should be fun. Wild, wild, wild. Wide open as well. So without further ado, let's see how it goes. Hey, here we go. Number 1, it says, read it for the people, it says, what is a Scrum of Scrums all about? What is a Scrum of Scrums all about? Well, I'm glad you asked. A Scrum of Scrums. So as you know, if you've been using Scrum before, you have, as part of the Scrum framework, something called the Daily Scrum, right? And now, usually, your team comes together in the morning, though it doesn't have to be in the morning, but let's just roll with the common time of day. It's usually sometime in the morning where the team comes together and they spend no more than 15 minutes to do a quick synchronization meeting. All they're doing is just trying to see as a team if they're on track to meet the goal of the sprint, if you're using Scrum. And if they're not on the goal, if they're not on track to meet the goal of the sprint, what can they do as a team to get back on track? And so that's the daily scrum, where people come together on the team to talk about, do they have any impediments or what do they need to do to meet the goal. So it's a mini planning session. Again, focus on mini, only about 15 minutes. Now, as I said, most teams will do their daily scrum in the morning. So hypothetically, all of your teams, maybe you've got 5 teams or 7 teams, some number, and they come in the morning and they do their daily scrum. Each team gets their daily scrum done by, let's say, 10 o'clock a.m. So if that's the case, all the teams are done at 10 o'clock. Now we've got this time maybe at 10:15 or 10:30 where one representative from each team can meet for what's called a Scrum of Scrums. It's a simple ad hoc way to scale the coordination between Scrum teams. So now your Scrum of Scrums, you may send your Scrum Master, or perhaps there's someone else that wants to attend on behalf of your team. But you'll come to the Scrum of Scrums maybe not every day. There might not be a Scrum of Scrums held Monday through Friday. Maybe it's only 2 days a week or something like that. And at the Scrum of Scrums, I'm not looking to get a readout from each representative of what their team is doing. Well, Charlie on my team is doing this today, and he did that yesterday, and he's blocked. No, that's not what the Scrum of Scrums is for. At the Scrum of Scrums, what we're doing is trying to get a read on any dependencies that are going on between teams, any other coordination activities, any blockers that are at the team level that could affect other teams. Things like that, so that we can synchronize as we scale multiple teams, we can synchronize our communications and our alignment. Make sense? I hope so. That's called the Scrum of Scrums. Now you may be asking, well, what if I've got 20 teams where I've got 20 people coming to a Scrum of Scrums? Well, if you ask the founder, one of the founders of Scrum, Jeff Sutherland, he may have in the past said, well, then you just roll it up a notch, right? You go from a Scrum of Scrums to a Scrum of Scrums. Roll with me here, right? You've got your daily scrums that all your teams are doing, and then you've got some Scrum of Scrums. Maybe you've got 2 or 3 of those, and then you can bring those multiple Scrum of Scrums together. Again, one rep from each group, Scrum of Scrums, to have your Scrum of Scrums. That's getting a little bit unwieldy, if you ask me, but that's one approach that you can take to scale your Scrum teams. Did I answer that? I think I did. What's the question? What is a Scrum of Scrums all about? So just to recap, a Scrum of Scrums is useful for someone from each team to come together so that we could coordinate across multiple teams any impediments that we have, any dependencies that we have on other teams, and any other issues that affect more than just one team. Scrum of Scrums does not have to be held every day, but typically 2 or 3 times a week is enough so that we can have that forward look in coordinating among several teams. If you like this video, come on back, there's always more. We'll be spinning the wheel here again. For more information about this, the card deck, this is the Conversation Starters Volume 1, I've got Volume 2 and 3 as well. In addition, I've got the Agile Coaches Toolkit, a wonderful deck filled with 54 different ideas on how you could work with teams in your workplace. You can go to agilecoachingcards.com for more information about that. I also teach a class. It's called the Advanced Certified Scrum Master class. I offer plenty of discounts and I keep my classes small. More information at onlinescrumclass.com for that. And finally, just to find out more information whenever I post or blog or do a recording or a video, I usually put something on my own website, which is agilecoffee.com. Right there. And as always, I'd like to ask you now to please enjoy your coffee with friends.